All right, Shalom. This is Gamali Allah out of Great Millstone, Atlanta. I want to give all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim that pushing out this truth and sincerity. All right, now this is a quick lesson. All right, and I don't have a title quite yet. All right, but this is along the lines of sacrificing. The main thing that you're not willing to sacrifice usually becomes your sacrifice. Okay. And what that means is, whatever it is that you're holding on to the most. All right. That can be a stumbling block to you if you don't want to let it go. Okay. When it comes down to it. Okay. We all have our vices. We all have our things that will hinder us, the flesh. Matter of fact, let's get this real quick. 1 second. Let's get bear with me one moment. Okay, Galatians 5:17. It says, for the flesh, I started 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. These are contrary the one to the other, so that you can not do the things that you would. So your flesh is always going to lead you into, pleasing it. Your flesh always wants you to wants quick gratification, a quick high or a quick fix, and I did a lesson not too long ago about how, dopamine, dealing with dopamine and addiction. And what happens is when you experience something of excitement, your body releases dopamine. And so as you, continue to do that thing, your body is expecting a certain amount of dopamine, which, will cycle you into addiction because your body is trying to get that same initial feeling from the first experience that you had. And, what inspired this lesson also is we had an individual come up to camp over this past weekend, and, he went to the old school, One West. All right. And if you aren't familiar, One West is the original Israelites. It's the first Israelite school stemming back from New York, in the early 70s, early the 70s, and it could have been, I believe it was the 70s, but this individual, he made a statement that, he basically fell out due to, him receiving a large amount of money. And he said that, he had an issue with lust of women. Okay. And, in the scriptures, that's called lasciviousness. As a matter of fact, I'll read on because it actually says that. It says, but if ye be led by the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanliness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murderings, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do these things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. So these are all attributes that, will destroy you. Okay. Because the flesh, constantly, if you are enticed by these certain things such as idolatry, drunkenness, lasciviousness, adultery, all these different things, if you're enticed by these things, then, your body, your flesh will pull you into doing that more and more and more until you cut it off, until you purge it, and you are led by the Spirit, but if you're led by the Spirit, then these things ultimately you'll have control over, and you'll refrain from. Okay. So let's get some more precepts. Let's move on. Going back to that guy's statement, about how he received a certain amount of money, which caused him to fall out of the truth, which ultimately he wasn't grounded. Ultimately, he didn't have a foundation. All right, Luke 16:19. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at the gate. As a matter of fact, is this what I was looking for? No, that's not what I was looking for. Okay, this is what I wanted. Slack it. Bear with me one moment. This is what I wanted right here. Matthew 19. This actually goes into the rich man as well. It says, I'll start at 17. I'll start at 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is the Most High. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. He saith unto him, Which? YAHAWASHI said, Thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt commit no adultery, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy mother and father, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. The young man saith unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? Verse 21, YAHAWASHI said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell what thou hast and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. Now, the reason I'm bringing this out is because, we all claim, to be in the truth, but, we have to, give up, we have to sacrifice as well. Okay. So YAHAWASHI hit him and he said, okay, well, you keep the law. Okay. All these things, you do. But how YAHAWASHI, got him was, he didn't want to sell what he had. Okay. And it said, as a matter of fact, I'll keep going. And it says, but when the young man heard what that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. And it says, Then YAHAWASHI said unto his disciples, Verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. Okay? Because, going back to what I was saying about that guy is, when you receive so-called riches, okay, that can throw you off, because now you've got these possessions and you don't want to, sacrifice those things. So whatever it is that's your biggest sacrifice, whatever it is that's your most prized possession, you got to be willing to give that up, if it came down to it, And a good example of a man with integrity that basically, had everything taken away from him was Job. Okay, Job had everything taken away from him, but he still kept his integrity. He still kept his faith in YAHAWASHI. Okay, it says, verse 24, And I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Okay, so like I said, riches and all these things, okay, we can't be tied down to this world. Okay, let's get this. First Timothy 6:10, For the love of money is the root of all evil, Matter of fact, I'll start at 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men into destruction and to perdition. Yeah, because being rich, and that's why I get it. In Proverbs, it says, "Give me neither poverty nor riches." Okay, because you really shouldn't want a big bag. Okay, which bag is money? You shouldn't want a large amount of money in this kingdom right now. Okay, because that will cause you, to lust. Okay, money comes with lust, because now you're thinking of ways of how to spend that money. Now you're dealing. Now you have the access to do different things. Okay, you have the access, because with money comes temptation, with money comes women, with money comes nice possessions. Okay, so it comes with a level of distraction and lust. Okay, lust of the flesh. Okay, because it makes you basically inevitably it makes you worldly. Having a certain amount of money will make you worldly. Okay, if you're not grounded. All right, it says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." And that's exactly what that man did. Okay, he coveted money, and he erred from the faith. Okay, basically, and he's not the only one. There's a lot of men who have received a nice amount of money, and because they weren't grounded, they erred and they fell out. It was a stumbling block unto them. Now, there's nothing wrong with money itself, because the scriptures say money is a defense. But, verse we just read, it says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil." So people that love money, the scriptures say you cannot serve two masters. For you'll either love the one or hate the other. So if you love money, then you can't love the Most High. Okay, because that's contrary. The love of money is carnality. It's not spiritual. Okay, so you can't love money and love the Most High in the same breath. Okay, I just quoted that you'll either love the one or you'll hate the other. All right. So there's nothing wrong with receiving money. There's nothing wrong with having money. But don't let that money have you. Own the money. Don't let the money own you. Okay? And that's when you have control over it. That's when you have control of your lust, and when you have control over the flesh. All right? Own your flesh. Don't let the flesh own you. All right? Like I said, same thing goes for money. Okay? This is, let me get a few more and then wrap up. James 1:13. "Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High. For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed." Okay? So, the flesh, okay, when you're drawn away in your own lust, that's when you're tempted. Okay? You're not tempted from the Most High. Doesn't send temptations your way. It's the lust of the flesh, that entices you. And that's contrary to the spirit. That's contrary to the Most High. It says, verse 15, "When the lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death." Okay? So it all starts with lust. It all starts with a thought like, okay, well, what if I do this? What if I do that? And when it's conceived, so when you actually act on it, that's when you bring forth sin. But it all started with one wicked thought that you had, which was, carnal. Okay, it was Satan. Okay, you allowed that demon or whatever spirit jumped on you. You allowed it to you allowed it to take root, to manifest. Okay, and eventually it results in death, because ultimately you're spiraling into sin. Okay, and then you're going off, and this world pushes that. This world pushes do as thou wilt, and you can do whatever the hell you want, But us, we know better, all right, because the scriptures tell us. The scriptures give us guidelines, to refrain from certain things and to constantly check ourselves. Scriptures say, examine yourself whether ye be in the faith. Okay, so you have to constantly examine yourself and check yourself and make sure that you're not given into less. Okay, you're not being superfluous, all right, which basically means overflowing with temptation, all right, or anything, and for that matter. Okay, let's get this. And this is the reward that we get, okay, for staying in the faith, okay, for forsaking our desires. It says, Matthew 19:27, then answered Peter and said unto all, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And YAHAWASHI said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, so we've forsaken all. Okay, whatever it is that your biggest thing to let go, if you let that thing go, okay, and you follow YAHAWASHI, okay, then you shall sit upon, you'll be a judge, okay? The Lord will reward you, okay? Let's get this. Mark 10. I'll close up on this. This is Mark 10:30. And it says, verse 29. And YAHAWASHI answered and said, matter of fact, I'll start at 28. Then Peter began to say unto him, lo, we have left all and have followed thee. And YAHAWASHI answered and said, verily I say unto you, there is no man that hath left house or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my sake and the gospels. And all these things can be stumbling blocks. Your family, your wife, your children, land, money, all these things can be stumbling blocks, because, these are things that we value most. Okay. We put these things first, but, YAHAWASHI requires that we put him first. Okay. Put the ministry first. All right. Because ultimately we received all these things, our most prized possession, whatever it is, you name it, as an individual, whatever your most prized possession is, ultimately the Lord YAHAWASHI gave that to you. Okay. He's the creator of all things. All right. So, you worship him first. All right. You thank him first. He gets all the glory and the credit. All right. So we can't put anything or anyone above the Most High YAHAWASHI. And it says, but he shall receive 100-fold now in this time houses and brethren and sisters and mothers and children and lands with persecutions, and in the world to come eternal life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last first. All right. So that's the point, is that the Lord is going to bless us 100-fold. Whatever we forsake. All right. We just have to forsake it now. And that word forsake basically means to turn away. Okay. To hold back. Hold back from being involved with it. Forsake it. Okay. So, that's the patience, that we have to apply in these times. And, like I said, we have to be ready to cut off whatever it is, because at the drop of a dime, could be when we have to, get up and leave. We're in those times where, our enemies could come at any time. It says our enemies shall come in as a flood. So, if you're looking back, like Lot's wife did, if you're looking back and you're trying to, take your most prized possessions, things that may be, those few seconds where you go back to grab it, or you don't want to let it go, that could cost you. All right. That can very well cost you your life. All right. So, that was pretty much the point. I'm going to close out on that, giving all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone. Shalom.